Good morning and welcome to today's daily reflection. Our whole belief system, our values and assumptions are all based on what we know to be true, such as if we go out in the rain, we know we're going to get wet. But then there is faith. While some today base their faith only on what they can see or they know to be true, my faith, however, is based on something entirely different. Now, today's reading gives us a good example of this faith. The reading is from the Gospel of John, chapter 4, verses 43 to 54. When the 2 days were over, he went from that place to Galilee. For Jesus himself has testified that a prophet has no honour in his own country. When he came to Galilee, the Galileans welcomed him, since they had seen all he had done in Jerusalem at the festival, for they too had gone to the festival. Then he came again to Cana in Galilee, where he had changed the water into wine. Now there was a royal official whose son lay ill in Capernaum. When he heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went and begged him to come over and heal his son, for he was at the point of death. Then Jesus said to him, "Unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe." The official said to him, "Sir, please come down before my little boy dies." Jesus said to him, "Go, your son will live." The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and started on his way. As he was going down, his slaves met him and told him that his child was alive. So he asked them the hour that he began to recover. They said to him, "Yesterday at one in the afternoon, the fever left him." The father realized that this was the hour Jesus had said to him, "Your son will live." So he himself believed, along with his whole household. Now this was the second sign that Jesus did after coming from Judea to Galilee. This is the word of the Lord. Now this father had travelled over 20 miles in the hope that Jesus could save his seriously ill son. "Unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe." That might, to most of us, seem to have been a bit of a harsh word to give the grieving father. It doesn't sound like Jesus. It seems he was turning a cold shoulder to the man's desperation. But we need to read carefully exactly what the original text tells us. Jesus wasn't addressing his words to just a father, because he spoke in the plural, not the singular. He was addressing the whole crowd. In an earlier chapter, we are told that while Jesus had been in Jerusalem at the Passover festival, many people saw the signs he was performing, and some believed and had faith in him. Now, while signs, if interpreted properly, can lead some to faith, but they can also, if interpreted improperly, just create the need for more signs. And if people come to rely on signs, and those signs run out, then that faith will eventually dry up. Although it was the need for signs and lack of faith that frustrated Jesus, we can almost feel the agony in the Father's words as he pleads with Jesus. Obviously, he felt everything was going to be lost if Jesus wouldn't come back with him and through his touch heal his little boy. But in this man, Jesus must have found a small grain of faith, small enough that he could work with. So telling the man, "Go, your son will live," Jesus was in effect saying to him, "Then believe and you will see." In the verses just before this story, we read how in Samaria, the people believed in Jesus because of the word of a woman, and then because of the word of Jesus himself. No signs needed. Thomas, one of Jesus' disciples, discounted testimony of the other disciples later on and refused to believe that Jesus had risen from the dead. But when Jesus appears to him later, Jesus tells him, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed." Have not seen and yet believed. Today, sadly, there are a great many people who won't believe until they see signs or miracles before they were prepared to have faith in who Jesus is. I want to finish with a prayer. Lord God, give me the faith I need to know your will, the hope I need to accept your will, and the love I need to do your will, and your grace when I don't understand it. In the meantime, I like the saying, grace is what God does, faith is what we do. So have a good week, and whatever you do in the coming week, do it with a smile. Bye for now.